this hair of mine. I washed it earlier. It's all right.
Okay, okay. Well, y'all, this is Big Ace here, and this is Sharmeika Burnett. I want y'all to say hi.
Hello.
Okay, that's cool. Now tell me about this beauty contest you was entering.
It was a contest that I was hand selected for the cover girl for Ink magazine. Um, it's really big. I didn't realize how big it was. It goes like international, and they select a group of girls from like several different regions in which you compete against. And like I said, it's huge. So I was excited about that. That was like a big platform for me, but also it was more important because there has never been an African American female to grace the cover of Ink magazine. So when they contacted me and they let me know that I was hand selected to be on that cover, I was like, oh, okay, let me do this. This is something that I want to do. I have tattoos, so that's why it was Ink magazine. Had it been Ebony or Jet, I guess I probably would have been even more excited. But again, it was just a platform for me to get to that level.
Okay, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. Usually they go with Jet with younger, like almost 16 to 22 age range. They usually go for, well, 16 to 25. But have you tried out for Jet or Ebony?
I haven't. I haven't because, in this industry, it's very discriminative. You just spoke on it, like age is a big factor, and I'm 37. So, they
You
look
don't look
like,
it.
oh, yes, I'm 37. I have a 19-year-old and I have a 14-year-old. So, but again, they look at age like you're too old to do this, and I don't believe in that. I look at some of the most beautiful women, such as like Angela Bassett, Taraji P. Henson, Cynthia Bailey, who still is a model, Cindy Crawford, Tyra Banks. These women still model, but they started young, but they're still out here, and I just think they gave me inspiration to say you can do this. If they're doing this at this age, you can do this. I know.
Okay, so you before we started recording, you was telling me about your workout regimen, and tell the people at home your workout regimen.
My workout regimen now,
Yeah.
I go, it's the table. But the kitchen and the table, I love to eat. But when I was younger, I did African dance. I ran track. I did martial arts. I did ballet.
Okay, you cut off again. I don't know what happened, but we still recording. If you can get your picture up, it'll be great. Can you hear me still? Okay, you back? Okay, we're having a few.
Torn off.
Okay, I can see you now.
Okay.
Okay, I couldn't see you
Keep
or
talking.
yeah, I couldn't see you or hear you, so it was kind of different, you know.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, but basically, I just wanted the people to know at home, um, you don't work out now, and you still have the sex appeal. I just wanted the people at home to eat their heart out a little bit, so it's all good. But again, we
Okay, eat your heart out. I mean, I just believe like if it's all about self love. If you love yourself and you're comfortable in your skin and you like the way that you look, hey, but being healthy is important. If you're working out, do it for the right reasons. Don't do it because society has this depiction of who you should be be and what you should look like. Make it be about your heart, your cholesterol, and your blood pressure, because we're dying from that every day.
Okay, okay. So let me ask you this though. So you placed at what place did you make it in the ink magazine contest?
I made it to the third round, which was the top 10, and I was on my way to the fourth round, which would have been the top five, which would have been the final stage of the group voting, and it would have started breaking down to individual voting. And I made it in eighth place for the top five, so I didn't make it to the top five, unfortunately, but that's where I finished, and I was proud of that. I got a lot of great exposure. Um, it brought me to interview with you, which is a good opportunity as well. I also got to meet a lot of great photographers who reached out to me and created other opportunities as well. So I'm happy with the place I made it to. Eight is a good number.
How
Eight's
many?
in the Bible.
Yeah. So let me ask you this: how many people entered the contest?
Oh my goodness. Like, I didn't realize until I think I was in the second round and I really got to researching and looking into it. I didn't realize how many girls there were. It's a lot. Like I said, they were international, and then it was like each region. I was in it's the West region, the East, the North, the South. It was so many, and I think we all started out with like maybe 30 girls in each region. So you went from the top 30 to the top 20 to the top 10, and then you go to the top 5, and then it goes to individual voting. So that's a
Yeah.
lot of girls.
Yeah. So if it's 30 in each region and it's only what 4 or 5 regions, that's a lot of women.
It is, and it's a lot. That's a lot of competition. Um, but again, I think like being confident within yourself and knowing what you're bringing to the table is important. You have to be in tune with self. You got to have a lot of confidence. You can't be afraid. You really have to step outside of your comfort zone and just take it all in, because it was a lot.
Okay. Okay. Let me ask you this: did you meet any celebrities?
I didn't. I didn't travel anywhere um, to meet any celebrities, but I could have. There's a lot of events that happen for Ink Magazine and other magazines where you go to Vegas and you go to California and Miami. It's just like, you know,
You on
my
tour?
modeling is, my modeling is important to me. It means the world to me. It does. But I have to, the reality of everything is that I'm a mother first and foremost. I have a career path secondly, and it's like my life outside of that is something that I have to live. Although the modeling is a part of my life, it's not the top priority in my life. It's something that is important to me, and it's more of a hobby, but it's still a profession.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Yes, and it does because it's so. It's like working a temp job for a living. I'll tell you, cut out again. Hello. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. It might be because you're moving or whatever. I might have to do some editing to this, but fortunately, it ain't more than 30 seconds. I'm gonna try to do some editing to this. But I wanted to ask you, where did the competition take place at?
Um, I believe that the competition is, I'm not sure where they're based from, but it was from home. You submitted, everything was online. You submitted your photos online, and everything that you did was through social media and online. And I did a lot of advertising for myself and promoting myself.
Okay, so
So,
let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. If I would have been a little bit closer to you at the time you was in the competition, um, I would have told you, which for the next time you do an online contest, you would know it. But if you do Google ad and monetize your name, or I mean not necessarily monetize your name, but trademark your name and GoDaddy ad, and then you Google ad it, um, you'll get more people responding to your model stuff.
oh, I
Yeah,
know now. Like my
that's the
modeling,
advertising trick. It's
I know now. I would have known these things, but when I first started modeling, I was younger and I was involved with someone, so I put my mouth all the way on the back burner, and I didn't make that a priority anymore because that person then became my priority and my purpose. My modeling took the back end, and I just kind of stopped. So
so let me ask you
I
this.
never knew I could do that.
Okay, yeah, yeah. Well, it's a new world, and a lot of us live without technology, and
Mm-hmm.
so it happens all the time. I'd have probably been making YouTube videos 10 years ago, you know,
Mm-hmm.
but I live like my grandparents taught me, just listen, get what you need, and everything else, can be put on the back burner. You still
Mm-hmm.
have options if you got everything you need. And like I say, the internet is a wonderful tool, and it's one of the greatest inventions since the TV. And like I say, advertisement through these new venues is everything. Is key because, like I say,
Mm-hmm.
you could have spent $21 for the week and got you a $3 ad every day. And anybody that wanted to look up your name or know anything about you, you have a direct link to your information. You set up your little page on Facebook in a side group or whatever, and the IG, and just market yourself. You know, and that's something we as African Americans don't know nothing about. Because I
Mm-hmm.
talked to you before we did the interview, but do you realize every Arab, it's like a divide. For every $10 that's in the African American community, less than two comes back through the African American community.
That is so sad.
Well, it's really sad. And you think about it, we spend 1.1 trillion, 1.7, not 1.1, 1.7 trillion dollars in this country, and you would think that we would own more and do more. We'd be like the sixth wealthiest nation in the world if we did that.
And that's why I made a decision that I cannot continue to work for the other man,
Yeah.
because of that point that you made right there. I'm putting myself as well as my daughters and my grandchildren, which we don't understand how it is our due diligence and our obligation to lay up for our family. Like this generational curse that we've been faced with in our community and today's society with our youth is ridiculous. And it's like we've given up as a community and as a people on trying to build and lay up for our children
Let me ask you
like we were
this.
taught.
Well, let me ask you this. What you think started that?
It,
Okay, you cut out again. Okay. Yeah. It's like when you move the camera a little bit, it just cuts out on you.
I'm going to be real still.
That's okay. That's okay.
But
So,
I think it started way back when they started giving out public housing, Section 8 food stamps, and they started telling the black women that the black man no longer can live in the household. And they started coming into the communities, dividing those households. They started imprisoning these men, our men, and they started telling us this is how we need to act and conduct ourselves. And these aren't men. You need to be more of an independent woman, and you need to do this. You can do it all by yourself.
okay, I
I think
agree.
that's when that started.
Okay, well, so basically the 70s, and that was quite sure before you was born. Um,
Mhm.
but I wanted to touch on that because, it's interesting that a woman comes up with that idea. And again, you know, um, not to talk about something that was off for the record, but again, them, I just, they got a chance to marry a future beauty queen, messed up, and still got the benefit of having a good black woman. And I just want to let you know that that's the way I see you. And let the people on YouTube and the world know this is a quality black woman. And what you're showing here is beauty and intelligence, which is something that
Thank
anybody
you.
can respect and love. So, um, I want to say this with what you see and what you've been going through. Um, what made you want to speak out and say something like that?
Because I think that when we pick up magazines or when we see um, these women on these TV shows, reality TV, that are, to me, in my opinion, personal opinion, so everyone has one, um, that are on here personally selling their souls for a moment of fame and embarrassing us as a woman. I think that we need to have more women like myself speak up and speak on topics like that and let them know that women like me still exist. We're not what you're seeing on TV. We're not these vixens and Barbies just because we posed for a photo or done a photo shoot or we're on a magazine. That doesn't mean that we're all selling our souls for a moment of fame.
Uh,
My purpose in doing what I do is because I have daughters, and they're not just my daughters; those are my queens. I'm raising queens. They are just as intelligent as I am, and they know their self, and they're young. So when they grow up, they can be a better woman than I am, but they can be queens standing next to a king, and they need to know that they they're not to be viewed as just another female, beautiful female. They're not going to be viewed like that. They don't value materialistic things. They don't value hair weaves and nails. Do they wear them? Yes, I wear them. But that does not define who they are as a woman, as society has taught them to, or what they wear. They can walk around here butt ass naked. I wouldn't care because that's the way they were born. That's their true being. That's their true self. But they will still get the respect as if they were walking around this world dripped in gold because of the knowledge and the wisdom that they have installed in them daily.
okay, so that's that's beautiful. That is definitely beautiful. I want to ask you something since you model, and unfortunately, this particular model was Miss America, and I forget her name. She was a beautiful dark-skinned woman. Oh, Tanya Moore, Kenya Moore, Kenya Moore,
Mm-hmm.
and to see how her basically her regalness basically left her when she joined Housewives of Atlanta. Um, would you like to speak on that? That's okay.
But
That's okay. That's okay. Um, what I was saying was Kenya Moore.
mhm,
She joined the Housewives of Atlanta, and
mhm.
she basically lost her regalness. And could you speak? Well, you spoke on it earlier, and in your conversation earlier. But I want to ask you, just from a woman's perspective, how does she make you feel knowing that y'all around the same age and she's basically Miss America and making black women look bad? I mean, how does that touch you as a person, a model, and so forth?
I can say that, we all are taught things, and we all have things instilled in us morally and as children. But once we reach a certain age, it's up to us to encompass those things, or we're going to, you know, rebel. And I think that Kenya Moore, she comes from a background where um, her being Miss America was a platform for her um, to change, like those point of views of when black females come from broken families and they don't have the father figures and role models or the support behind them, that they become, or that they're these people. Kenya Moore could have changed that point of view, but she chose not to. She chose to do something different. And I just think that everything we do, we have a choice. That's embarrassing. It's disrespectful, and she's becoming a mother now. And hopefully, as a mother and her becoming a mother, she realizes that she's going to have to change. She can't be the same person. She can't, the spiteful, vindictive behavior, characteristics, and the things that she does to embarrass herself and us, she's going to have to change.
Okay, let me.
And it's
Okay,
embarrassing.
okay. You are a medium complected woman that that's very beautiful. Kenya Moore is on the dark end of that perspective. But what do you say to somebody like Debbie Allen Turner, um, Vanessa Williams, who always Miss Americas? I forgot the middle one name. Actually, I thought she was the less prettiest one, the second one after Debbie Allen. But I don't know what it was. I seen Kenya Moore and I was like, wow, that's what I want as a wife. And unfortunately, I'm not in that situation. But what do you think is the guiding force? Because I'm a lighter male, and I wanted to bring that up with somebody outside of our community that's in our community per se. What do you think that does? Does Vanessa Williams, her dad left the household, but it wasn't mentioned and dramatized like it was with Kenya. But you got Oprah Winfrey, and you got a lot of women out here that done it without having a dad, but it's always something missing. And I was just wondering, what's your thought process on that? Because is it really just, the darker you are, the more you be out of control, or is it just what you born with and what you nature versus nurture?
I think it's nature versus nurture. And that just goes, that color thing, that light skin, dark skin, that's that modern day enslavement that we're still mentally slaves.
You know,
Because your color, I have my oldest daughter's darker than me,
okay.
but at the end of the day, like they are both very beautiful young ladies, and it's like I don't, that's bullshit to me. I don't teach that to my daughters. I would never. And if I see those behaviors,
Mm. Okay, you
okay,
you were saying about them behaviors.
that's modern day uh, mental enslavement. And it's very obvious that we are still slaves in so many different ways. And, and a lot of people, because they're not in tune with self and they don't know themselves or they lack that knowledge, they don't know that. So they don't know any better.
Okay, so let me ask you this then. Let me ask you this. Do you know that we actually started that amongst ourselves? Did you know that? It started with the paper bag test. You wasn't able to go in master's house unless you was lighter than a wet paper bag.
Mm-hmm.
And we started that.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just wondering, like, do you think that we will ever outgrow it, or it'll be somehow missed out our genetics, or are we doomed to repeat this pattern because we choose not to acknowledge that it's an argument within us?
I want to say we're doomed to not repeat. It's an art because it's an argument within ourselves. Because again, and it's choice. Everything that transpires in life with every human being and individual, it all starts with self choice. Period.
Okay, let me ask you this. With Beyonce making the record she's making and the noise she's making, do you think somebody is dark as maybe Remy Ma to get the same point across?
I do. It's all about your delivery, and I mean that because I just the Barack Obama, Michelle Obama, she's not light skinned, but she started several programs about health and and, and supporting them and younger ladies. Her daughters are by far not light skinned; they're about medium to dark complected. So yes, I do. I just think it's that those who choose to embrace again is choice.
Okay,
It's choice.
okay, that sounds good. That sounds good. Okay, so let me pick your brain here a little bit. Um, in total, how many Miss Americas has it been that's black?
I'm going to be 100% honest with you. I could care less because, and I'm saying this because the Miss America contest, um, as far as I'm concerned, or if I couldn't even tell you who the last Black Miss America was outside of Kenya Moore and Vanessa Williams. But I can care less because what it's designed to do, and I don't think Black women grasp the concept. Again, you have your daughter on this show or on this, and they're competing. And the importance of it, I get of a Black woman being Miss America. I get that. I really do. But they're competing for this place against these fair skinned women, these white women. And for what? For validation? For a title?
Well, I think it's important for people to see that it was a popular cartoon out when I was younger. It was He-Man. My uncle is a little bit darker, and he a darker brown skinned man, but he's real built, and he does bodybuilding. He came out with this prototype for his toy line, and it had his coloring on it. And it's the Darvish test. We as a people, we choose the whiter person without no kind of prodding, no whatever. We choose the whiter one to represent ourselves in everything we do. And I was just wondering, like, I noticed you might have broke that with your kids and stuff. How did you go about doing that?
I was just gonna say, like, my daughters used to go into the store and they wanted Barbie. And of course, who's on the shelf?
Oh,
Sorry about that.
that's okay.
And of course, who's on the shelf is Miss White Barbie. And it's
Okay.
like, oh no, I'm not buying no Barbie. I'll buy you a book. Um, with the baby dolls and stuff like that, they have, and it just bothered me. I actually have filed complaints with Walmart and Target and all of that because the lightest doll on the shelf is white, and the darkest one you don't see or they don't have on the shelf. Um, or she's all the way in the back. Well, I buy my daughters the blackest one, and my mother's Cuban. She's fair skinned. My grandmother was portrayed a white woman, my mother's mother. So all the women on my mother's side speak full fluent Spanish. So my children understand diversity. They don't see color.
That's cool. That is so cool. So,
I'm sorry, you guys. I'm going to get in the car.
mm,
I'm going to see the new Tiffany Haddish movie, and I thought it was going to be done by this time, but I'm still going to do this with you.
okay,
You
okay,
guys might not be able to see me that well, but you
okay,
guys get to see me move from the house and what a
okay,
broken toe going. I'm a normal human being just like everybody else. I'm not plastic. I'm not a Barbie doll because I'm modeled or, my life isn't oh, it's not all fancy or anything like that. I'm normal. I'm a human being. Like,
okay.
um,
Well, I don't want you to hurt yourself or hurt anybody else. So this is what we don't do. Just give me like 2 minutes, and I'm gonna cut it. And we let your fans know everything they need you to know. They know about where you at, how to contact you on Facebook. I got your IG information, and I want you to tell your fans the next time you finna enter a contest. Hello, hello.
tell my family, but again, sorry.
Yeah. When the next time you don't compete in a contest? Cause I think you got it to be Miss Universe or Miss America. I don't know which one is more, but that's why I precipitated it. Um, but whichever one, I think you should at least try.
Say that last part again.
I don't know if it's Miss America or Miss USA is the biggest one, but I think you can be on the biggest stage and you can rock that.
I've always thought about that, but then it was like, okay, I always shut myself down because it was like I did this foolish thing and I went and got 15 tattoos and I had kids. I have some stretch marks. And it's like, would they really? And then I have this big cesarean scar from when I had my children. So am I going to really be able to do that? So I
Okay,
shut myself down.
okay. Well, let me ask you this. Um, Turn the camera off, and we don't let the fans see what you look like with that cesarean section star and what you look like without it. Because your picture pops up as soon as you turn it off. Because I'm going to let the world know, hey, the right genetics, this is what you can look like too after pregnancy.
And it's true. And it's like, I didn't work out during my pregnancy or after, or, you know, I don't know. I just guess, like, if you take care of yourself, though, because my pregnancies, they weren't stressful. I did use everything under the sun, cocoa butter, uh, olive oil. I used everything I could under the sun because I didn't want stretch marks, but I still have them. I haven't.
Alrighty.
And I'm not ashamed. And my Caesarean scar, like, I'm not ashamed. Like, if I was to ever get big, I'm going to have 3 stomachs because that line is there.
Okay, 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 okay. Well, hey, I want you to have success and a safe trip to see Tiffany Haddish. I wish she didn't do the style of comedy she did, but one of my favorite comedians, Adele Givens, said something that was the most funniest thing of all time to me, and I remember it almost as better than I do Eddie Murphy joke. But it goes something like this here. My big ass lips. Oh, this is what she looked like, ladies and gentlemen. My big ass lips and your penis would be like giving a whale a chit chat. And I,
I like her too. I like Adele Givens. I love her.
so that's my favorite line from her. And but I just don't find Tiffany Haddish funny. Yeah, I'm not on Cat Williams' side per se, but I just think that we need to do something past the righteousness, and that's why I'm thankful for the fact you gave me your time to do this interview.
And I thank you for allowing me that time to do this interview because that's important. I think if all models or females were awarded this opportunity, people will get to know so much more about some of these models, entertainers, dancers, outside of what they see on the picture. And they don't have to judge that book by its cover because there's some real dope females out here that's really out here grinding and really doing what they need to be doing, that are humble, down to earth, and they're not that label that you're giving them.
Okay, okay, and that's good, and that's good. I'm gonna wrap it up here. We got your information. Tell the people at home bye, and I'm gonna let you get there. Cause I don't want. And by the way, people, she is a registered nurse right now, so I don't want her ended up
Yeah.
at work the wrong way. So you tell me goodbye, and your fans goodbye, and you have a safe trip.
Thank you all. You all have a good night. I appreciate your support and your love. And I'll see you guys on my Instagram or my Facebook. Again, I'm Miss Mika Wright. And you all have a good night.
You too. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Okay, y'all. This is Big Ace. We did another hitting interview. You know, it's a little bit longer than normal, but y'all got to meet Sharmeika Burnett, and this is our interview. So y'all show us some love. This is Big Ace. Chi Town, Chi Town, Chi Town. South Side, baby. We out. Peace.